So my name is Captain Remoshay Nelson. I'm the Public Affairs Officer for the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. Family, I come from very humble beginnings. None of my family members had really left the South, meaning my mom and dad were from Mississippi. And then we moved to Atlanta, where I was born and raised, but we had just regular working jobs. And so my mother met my stepdad when I was in the third grade, and he had actually served in the Navy. And so he used to tell me stories about his time in the Navy, his travels, the people he met, the food he ate, the missions he was a part of. And he would always like introduce me to a lot of his friends that we would see when we would travel and, go on vacation. And so I was essentially exposed to a new life that I didn't know existed, meaning one of travel, adventure, challenge. And so when I was looking to go to college and I was looking to decide if what I wanted to do after high school, my dad was really vocal and pushing me to look at military options. And I did not want to join right out of high school. I knew for sure I wanted to go to college, specifically a historical black college and university. And so I did my research, realized they had Air Force ROTC. And my dad was a huge, I think, influence in that, because he always said, hey, I don't want you to enlist. I want you to be an officer. I did not see a lot of like officers who look like you, and I think you would do a great job like leading. And so I looked into Air Force ROTC and applied to Howard, got in, applied to the ROTC program and got in. One that is a military and defense. I always look at pioneering individuals who have done or made contributions to the culture and to the organization. And the Buffalo Soldiers is definitely a cavalry that sticks out to me, and what they did for the Army as well as for African Americans is one of prestige, is one of respect, and one that I constantly keep in the back of my mind. As I stand on the shoulders of giants, I want to constantly remember what they did and understand and kind of pay homage to them, because they paved the way for people like me. And so I just want to always have a reminder. And this is, I'll show you the patch. So I don't have the actual one that is in my bag. So it's, I left that one at home, but I brought my shirt, which is in my office. And so my last base was Kunsan Air Base in Korea. And you basically every squadron creates a jersey to kind of represent their squadron, what team they're part of. I was a part of Wing Staff Agency, and I was the Chief of Public Affairs. So on the front, I put basically public affairs, but on the back, I had the opportunity to just design whatever you want. And so my call sign is Flash. And then I put 6 because I was the 6th like public affairs officer to have this call sign. And then Flash for just to represent my call sign, my sorority, Thunderbirds because I had been selected, homage to PA, homage to definitely to Tuskegee Airmen. And then this is the patch that I carry around as just a respect and honor to the Buffalo Soldiers because they came before me and did an outstanding job representing our race, our culture, and reminders that they are things that need to be in the forefront of your mind as you continue to move forward. So having valor, honor, and courage, and then just being ready and continuously always pushing forward to do your best. One, I apologize that happened to you guys. That's definitely something that is frustrating, upsetting, and disturbing overall, because we want to make sure that, of course, everyone just has simple respect for each other and property. And so I apologize that that happened. Overall, my experience has definitely been very interesting. I haven't shared this story, but I'll share it with you. I shared it with my squadron when everything happened in regards to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, all of the civil unrest. They were just trying to get an understanding of why so many people were upset and upset about the situation. And so I shared with them just my perspective and my experience. And so personally, one of my good friends was actually killed by a police officer. And that touched me deeply because also the police officer did not go to jail or anything like that. So I could understand what George Floyd's family was going through, and the response that people who had never seen or been associated with a situation like that was going through, and why they were upset about the situation. And then I also shared with them that one of the things that my teammates, meaning the other 11 officers on the team, did not know, but my leadership was informed of. My very first event as Thunderbird 12, I was at the event and I was leaving. I was in the car with a public relations professional who's African-American, and then two celebrities who were African-American. Essentially, it started raining and I was taking them back to their hotel. So they drove over in golf carts. And so I was taking them back there, and I was essentially leaving out the event area, and the cops was telling us to go a certain way. And so I was getting ready to turn a certain way, but he stepped into like where I was turning, and then he started to just basically yell at me, scream at me. And then when he came up to the car, he said some very rude, disrespectful, and derogatory things to me. And I was still in this uniform. And so it was very upsetting because I had served overseas for 6.5 years to come back for, and I felt like his comments were driven based on my appearance, and because of what he said and how he said it. It was very upsetting. And I was in my uniform, none of that mattered. Or potentially it did, right? It could have been something that helped me in that situation. I don't know. But I was thankful that I was able to walk away from the situation. I was very proud to see the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, who is an African-American male, speak out against the incidents that happened with George Floyd, and then what we've experienced on and off duty. And I shared that experience where, my first event, I had an interaction that was, I felt like, racially driven towards me. And then I also shared things internally that I've seen happen to individuals, my friends in the Air Force. So I am, at the same time, it's quite upsetting because we can't control the color of our skin. We are born this way. It's something that we cannot change. But something that can be changed is someone's attitude and perspective on something. So my hope is that people are more open-minded and listening and understanding during this time, and just like pushing forward to make change. Because in order for us to get better as not only an Air Force, but as a country, we have to come together. Say various things, but the one thing that is very distinct, I think, about the Thunderbirds, and one of the things that you will notice if you go to an air show, is when our jets get ready to take off, they're doing various hand symbols and doing different gestures in the aircraft. When we are here at Nellis Air Force Base, we typically line up. So we are a team. When the jets go in the air, they represent the entire team. And so as a way of just sending them off into the air safely, we line up, and each pilot has a different hand sign or symbol that they do. Some of them is like push it up. Other ones like flex like this, do a DJ sign. It varies depending on the pilot, but every single pilot has something different. And that's just communicating to each other like, hey, we represent, I see you, have a good show. We're here for you. We're in this together. It is an absolute honor to be in this position. As a Thunderbird, you are part of a high visibility squadron. We constantly do engagements to basically not only tell our story, but tell the story of the 693,000 total force airmen who make up the Air Force. So to be in this position and to not only share my story of other airmen, I hope to just provide inspiration, hope, and motivation to young girls, especially young Black and brown girls who look like me, who come from similar backgrounds, just providing some type of inspiration or motivation, letting them know that they can do anything that they put their mind to, but also too educating them on the leadership opportunities that are in the Air Force.